Hello, everyone. This is Pastor Sean Hackett coming from Resurrected Apostolic Faith Ministry. To thank you again for tuning in for this message entitled Getting Weary. You ever go ahead and you get a message from God in your life. You finally found God. You've been baptized. You've received the word. You've received the love of God and the love of Jesus Christ. And thus, He's giving you a message to go ahead and preach His word. Deliver the message to all those in which I send you to. Only to find out when you get there, no one really receives your word. Or better yet, they may smile and they may accept it, but there's no change. And then you're sitting there year after year, or month after month, or day after day, and you're wondering, why did God put me here? Why did He give me a message that didn't allow change? I know God is an all-powerful God. And this word is very powerful in which He's given me. But yet, no change. Well, I'm here to tell you, that's just too many questions. There's only one answer. And it lies in the love of God. Stay tuned for this message entitled, Getting Weary. This is coming from Jeremiah 12 in verse 4. This is the word part. This is where the message is going to come. This is where you're going to understand where I'm going to be going with this thing. This is Jeremiah speaking directly to God, explaining his feelings on how the world is turning. So in 12 it says, in verse 4, it says, "How long shall the land mourn, and the herbs of every field wither, for the wickedness of them that dwell therein? The beasts are consumed, and the birds, because they said, He shall not see our last end." So Jeremiah is saying here the most beautiful thing in which you've created, the world and all the things that dwell therein. He's like, the very birds are losing hope. The very beasts are losing hope because they're here in this beautiful habitation, yet there's wickedness all around them. And I believe if we could dig a little bit deeper in things, these birds and these beasts, these animals, and how we've been engrafted and made from the same things, the animals and the humans. He's really talking about the righteous people of God and how they basically are just dying away because they've heard a message, they're delivering the message, but they're not seeing any change. And so Jeremiah is one of these prophets that have been given a word to teach and to preach and to deliver it to everyone in which God sends them to. But here he's saying the very land in which you have given mourns. I mean, the pain is so great that he could hear the land crying. He could see the very herbs, everything that is beautiful, the aromas that he smelled all throughout his years. He's like, they're all withered. What is he really saying here? Are they really withered? Are there really herbs? Is he really talking about the land here? What he's saying is the very senses in which you've given me, the very youth in which I had to preach the word and the doctrine to these people, the energy, the excitement, the burning desire to serve you and then to serve the people and the greater of the people. He's like, that's just dead. It's dead because I just see wickedness everywhere. I'm preaching, but it's just not getting to them. So you may be facing similar tribulations in your life. It may be in a marriage. It may be in your household. It may be at your job. And the greater part is when you are a Christian, you are a man, woman, or child of God, and you're delivering the message. You always find that in your mouth, God always comes up. And people are just getting weary of you. And you in turn are getting weary of them. And then if it digs a little bit deeper with that little leaven that leaves the whole lump, you'll get weary with your part, with what God delivered unto you. We got to remember that the words in which God has given in us is not something like we've read and we're just going to regurgitate it. It's something that we've read, we've digested, is now written on the fleshy tables of our heart, and now it's become life. So that's the first problem. Don't think that it is a job. It's your life. You wake up, you may have children. You call yourself a father. You call yourself a dad. No one could take that from you. That's innate. That's in you. You know, when you gain those children, you gain greater responsibility. So the same thing with becoming a pastor, a prophet, an evangelist, a bishop, a deacon. Yes, these are all titles, but the real title lies within a man. Because we could go further and say there's some who fallen away, some who did not continue to pass, some who just got weary. So you have to understand that there are people waiting, watching, hoping for you first to fall, but then there's other people who's waiting for you to succeed. So keep that in mind next time you think that your job doesn't mean anything. That you think that, the wife or the husband is just not paying attention. They're, annoyed with you and God. Just keep doing what's right. And God will open every window of heaven and pour forth blessings, not only for you, but for them. But they don't know it yet. But if you hold on, you could receive it. Let's continue. So this is God's reply in Jeremiah 12 and verses 5 and 7. If thou hast run with the footmen and they have wearied thee, then how canst thou contend with the horses? And in the land of peace wherein thou trustest, they weary thee, then how wilt thou do in the swelling of Jordan? For even thy brethren in the house of thy father, even they have dealt treacherously with thee. Yea, they have called a multitude after thee. Believe them not, though they speak fair words unto thee. I have forsaken my house, I have left my heritage. I have given the dearly beloved of my soul into the hand of her enemies. So I just want to jump down to 7 really quickly and say that God says, I know. You've been here just a little while. I've been here from the very beginning, and I know. I know what they've been doing. I know that you're going to the people and you're preaching a word and it's not getting to them. And the message is not conveying themselves in their lives and is not creating change in them, but that's okay. I send you so that you could be a messenger for me. That when that judgment day comes, they could say, well, God, what do you mean we didn't feed the people? We didn't hear your words. We didn't receive you into our households, into our hearts, into our minds. God is just going to say, you remember Jeremiah? How he came to you and preached that word? And you guys didn't even want to hear him? Better yet, you wanted to kill him? So now turning back to Jeremiah and his role. God says here, if you can't run with the footmen here, then you're going to be worried with the horses. What is God saying? God is trying to say is, if you're getting tired with the people, how can I use you for the war? If you're getting tired here of a little city, how can I lead or have you lead a country and a nation? You have to look at the greater message. God is not just going to use you to dispose of you. He's going to use you to establish you. You remember it says little will turn into much when God is in it. He says 1 will put 1,000 to flight, 2 will put 10,000. You see, with God, numbers don't matter, but it does matter the mind frame of that man that he sends out. Do his will. Trust in him. Hope to the very end. And let the hope be a lively hope. What do I mean by that? It means that it's not just you're going to die and go to heaven, but you're going, while on earth, you're going to live righteously that men could see and evaluate and maybe follow those same ways. You're going to be in the midst of a storm. You're going to be in the midst of a wilderness of death, but yet you will fear no evil, for God is with you. You're going to be in almost like a land of peace while the devil is surrounding you, because you trust in God. You trust in who he is. You trust in what you've become when you accepted him into your life. For God says in the end, for even thy brethren in the house of thy father, even they have dealt treacherously with thee. Yea, they have called a multitude after thee. Believe them not, though they speak fair words unto thee. So you may go ahead and say, I'm not going to preach the word to these people anymore because they're not going to receive it. Better yet, I'm going to go to my household. I'm going to stay in the confinements of my home. And I'm going to give them the message. And they'll hear me. But God's saying they're going to